Yo, what is going on, you guys? So today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I will be giving you guys 5 tips for all of you guys investing in the NBA playoffs and in general sports cards. I think these hold true for basically all sports. So I definitely have some tips lined up. Without further ado, we're going to hop right into the first tip, which is to invest in players that will do better than expected. So basically, what I mean by that is, for example, the current market price of a player is a reflection of everyone's expectations, basically. Like, Kawhi's prices are so high because, people expect him to make the finals. Some people expect him to win the championship, right? So it's all based on expectations. And what I mean by that is basically you want to find players who kind of, aren't expected to play very well. And when they play better than expected, their prices will go up to reflect how they played. This comes a lot from, stock market. In the stock market, everyone's assuming a company is going to have, a certain amount of revenue, in a month. And if they don't meet that, their prices are going to go down. If they, exceed the expectations, prices are going to go up. And, that's how a market works, honestly. So basically, if you guys are investing in a player because, they could win the championship or something, but if everyone else thinks they could win the championship as well, then the price you're paying is already reflecting, the price of their potential to win the championship. So you definitely want to be wary of that. One guy I really like for this is Jimmy Butler, because he doesn't have too high expectations, yet I think the Heat could stun some teams just because, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, they play hard. They're certainly, got a lot of young stars that could really show, themselves, can really show themselves to the world. So definitely, I think the Heat are a sleeper. I think the Heat have the potential. When they face Giannis, they limited him to I think like 13 points or something. They beat the Bucks, I think, this season. So definitely, you want to go for those sort of like underdog mentality, I guess, because if you're obviously going for Giannis, his expectations are, his prices reflect that he's going to win the championship because people expect he will. But if he doesn't, you can see those prices going down because simply, he won't meet expectations. If he gets knocked out in the playoffs this year, I can see, his prices going to, 2,500, obviously still sky high, but, they could definitely take a jump from these incredible $4,000. So number 2 we have is take your profits, because you will never be able to catch someone at their peak. And this goes into my tip number 3 as well. So do not gamble. This is my personal advice. I would sell at the peak of the hype. For me personally, not gambling means I'm going to invest in Kawhi Leonard. I'm going to invest in LeBron James. And rather than, I guess selling only, rather than only making money on one player and have a chance at making them, say I threw all that money, rather than splitting it between Kawhi and LeBron, I threw it all in Kawhi. If LeBron won, I would pretty much be losing money. Yet if Kawhi won, I'd be making money. Whereas if I'm investing in both, I'm going to make sure I make money on both, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell right before, the actual series. If the Clippers and Lakers play, I'm going to sell right before the series, because the hype will be at a sky high. Or if, say, the Clippers win Game 1, I'll sell Kawhi, and then the Lakers win Game 2, sell LeBron. You can't be greedy out here and expect, just to throw all your money into Kawhi and hope that the Clippers win. It's just simply not smart from an investing standpoint. You want to go ahead and make money no matter what. You don't want to have the market and, someone's play determine. Say if someone gets, COVID and their prices go down because they get, they can't play. That's definitely risks you're taking. So you just gotta, when you're seeing a very big profit, I would go ahead and sell, and you can always move in. There's so many opportunities to move your money into, other players, move your money into new guys that are on the low. If you're riding with, Luka for forever, basically, I don't think that's exactly that smart unless you have the capital to do so. Because if you're going ahead, you have $300, you invested in Luka at $300, he's now $900. Yes, you could probably wait another 3 years and you might be at $2,000. But the thing is that in that 3 years, if you sell at $900, buy someone else at 300 who will go to 900, then you're making, a lot more money. You could make three investments, of $300 with that 900 and try to keep building. If you guys know business, you know that compound interest is basically so, I guess, so powerful because you can keep compounding your money rather than one long-term, investment. You can go ahead and keep compounding and making small flips, and just continuing to grow your money, and you'll definitely see bigger returns. So do not gamble. The hype leading up to an event is honestly when the prices are at the highest. Not always during the event. As we saw with the Michael Jordan documentary, his prices were the highest leading up to the documentary, right? It wasn't necessarily the documentary that made the prices go up. It was the anticipation for the documentary. So if you guys are definitely, riding with the player all along, maybe when he wins the championship, people are selling because his prices, people speculate that his prices will be so high. So then, in fact, his prices don't go up too much because there are a lot of sellers too. So you just got to think of those things. Honestly, right before an event is usually the time to sell, in my opinion, because the hype is so high and you're not losing, you're not risking anything. And something I'm doing with Kyrie is I'm just holding on to it, and right before the season starts, when everyone's so hyped up to watch KD and Kyrie play together for the first time, I will sell right before the season. I'm not risking Kyrie getting injured. I'm not risking Kyrie not playing well. I'm not, throwing my money and just hoping Kyrie's going to do well. Rather than that, I am, obviously just investing and, thinking in the market, because the market's always a step behind, I guess the market reflects, a step behind people's thinking. So definitely, I would say that if you are making a good profit, obviously, it depends on the situation. It depends on the cards. Certain cards I would say to hold. Certain cards I would say to sell. But if you're making a good profit and, it's right before an event and it's hyped up, I would just go ahead and get rid of it personally and move your money into other things. There's always opportunities that haven't gone up yet. Players that haven't gone up yet, rather than sticking with the player that's already done, a huge increase. So number 4, it's invest in players with relevance. So my rule of thumb personally is that for the most part, I want to invest in, a top 2 player of a team. I'm not trying to invest in and obviously there is, some exceptions. If a player is young and has the potential to be a top 2 player, I'll invest in him. But I'm not going to go out there and invest in Tobias Harris just because, I don't see much value long term in investing in guys like Tobias Harris. As you can see how cheap his cards are. I don't even know which years. Okay, so he's 2012, 2013. Yeah, I just don't see much value in investing in guys like Tobias Harris and, third or fourth options. I see a lot of people doing that right now. And I just personally, I don't think that will have relevance for a long time, and especially to avoid players who end up, obviously Tobias Harris is a great player, solid player, but is he collectible? Is he marketable? I wouldn't say so. I don't think many people are out there trying to buy Tobias Harris cards, right? So just looking at stuff that will always hold demand. And that leads me into my last one, which is try to stick with rookie cards for the most part. I do understand for guys like LeBron, if you're betting on him winning, 2019 Prism's a great buy. But in general, rookie cards will always hold value. Specific years, nobody really cares about 2018 Prism anymore as much as they do about 2019. And when 2020 and 2021 Prism come out, people will stop caring as much about 2019 Prism. That's just kind of how it works. So rookie cards are always, going to hold value. That's historical. That's, its first season. So definitely I would stick with rookie cards, and I would stick with players who have relevance. Especially if you're investing in long term. I want to invest in Draymond long term just because will he really be remembered? How many great players were there of Draymond's caliber in the 1990s that, we totally forget about because, we have new players now that we're hyping up and we're not too worried about them. So definitely just, stick with players with relevance, stick with rookies. My thing is to always buy cards that will have a lot of demand, because the more demand, the easier it is for the price to go up. It's just simple economics. Don't go ahead and invest in cards that nobody wants to buy. Yeah, that's pretty much my tips for the NBA playoffs. Once again, I do want to say, as you guys know, I have my membership program. I basically give out 23 picks every week. 10 cards I believe will go up, 10 cards I believe should be sold, and 3 long-term underground NBA investments. If you guys are interested in making some money with me and hearing all my picks before they reach YouTube, we've made a lot of money in these last 3 months. Go ahead and head to the link down below, sportscardsinvest.com, my website, and go ahead and use code YouTube for 10% off. I really appreciate all your support. Today we just passed 400 members, which I really appreciate. You guys mean so much to me for supporting me along my journey in sports cards. So yeah, I really hope you guys did enjoy. Once again, code YouTube for 10% off at my website. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.